We are currently living in a corporate-mandated delusion where the automotive industry expects us to applaud 2.5-ton battery-powered rolling appliances as the saviors of the planet, while the actual engineering soul of the automobile is being systematically suffocated by compliance committees. And right on cue, as the rest of the world trades mechanical character for iPads on wheels, Brabus drops a €1,000,000, 1,000 horsepower, non-hybrid, twin-turbo V12 monster that breaks every single rule of modern automotive conformity. Look, let's stop pretending for a second. The market is saturated with over-assisted, sterilized speed machines that do all the work for you, leaving the driver as nothing more than a passive passenger pressing a capacitive screen. But this thing, the Brabus Bodo, this is an open rebellion against the entire trajectory of the 2026 car market. It is named after Bodo Buschmann, the founding father of Brabus, and his son Konstantin, the current CEO, built this as a definitive statement. If Bodo were standing here today, looking at this unapologetic, raw mechanical monument, he would be laughing in the faces of every regulatory board in Europe and North America. It is a car that shouldn't exist by modern standards, yet here it is, commanding over €1.2 million with taxes in Germany, proving that real wealth doesn't want an appliance. It wants an untamed mechanical masterpiece. Let's look past the flashy exterior and dive straight into the numbers, because the laws of physics do not care about marketing hype. Under that long, sweeping hood sits a 5.2-liter twin-turbocharged V12. Think about that for a moment. In an era where even high-performance sports cars are being forced to downsize to 4-cylinder hybrids with fake exhaust notes pumped through the cabin speakers, Brabus went the completely opposite way. They took a massive 12-cylinder engine, strapped 2 heavily modified turbochargers to it, and tuned it to pump out a staggering 1,000 horsepower and 1,200 newton-meters of torque. But here's the real kicker, the absolute madness of the engineering. It is entirely rear-wheel drive. No sophisticated all-wheel drive systems to save you from your own stupidity. No hybrid electric motor filling in the torque gaps. Just pure, unadulterated internal combustion, sending an absolute avalanche of power directly to 2 patches of rubber on the pavement. To put 1,000 horsepower through the rear wheels alone in a modern car is a terrifyingly beautiful engineering decision. It means doing 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a brutal 3 seconds flat, and pushing all the way to an electronically limited top speed of 360 kilometers per hour. Think about the thermal management required to keep a 5.2-liter twin-turbo V12 alive at those speeds. Think about the sheer volume of air those custom Brabus intakes have to gulp down just to keep the cylinders from melting. The engine bay is a work of art, featuring real golden flakes embedded throughout the carbon fiber shroud to help dissipate heat. It is a beautiful, expensive solution to a problem that modern automotive manufacturers avoid entirely by just building soulless electric motors that overheat after 2 laps on a track. But you cannot talk about a 1,000 horsepower rear-wheel drive car without talking about the only thing keeping you from spinning into a ditch, the tires. Brabus didn't just pull a standard set of rubber off the shelf for this project. They went to Continental and demanded a custom compound specifically engineered to survive the terrifying torque of the Bodo. The result is the Continental Sport Contact 7 Force, measuring a massive 275/35 ZR21 up front and sitting on 21-inch wheels. These aren't your typical high-performance tires. They are built with a completely revised pattern and a specialized contour concept designed to drastically increase lateral stiffness. When you are piloting a Coachbuilt Hypercar at 370 kilometers per hour, regular tire sidewalls will literally flex and distort under the immense structural loads. Continental had to re-engineer the internal construction of the tire to handle the punishing forces of racetrack usage, while maintaining enough daily drivability so you don't crash on your way to get coffee. And as a nod to the legacy of the man who started it all, these tires feature the initials BB for Bodo Buschmann stamped directly into the rubber. That is the level of obsessive engineering detail you get when you build a vehicle without a single budget constraint. And then we have the bodywork. Every single panel you see on this vehicle is custom made from carbon fiber. You can get it painted, or you can opt for the fully exposed carbon fiber look where every weave aligns perfectly across the body lines. Look at the side profile. It immediately evokes the spirit of the legendary Maybach Vision 6 concept, a car that corporate executives were too afraid to ever put into production. Brabus looked at that timeless, sweeping, yacht-like silhouette and said, "We'll build it ourselves." The engineering involved in manufacturing a full carbon body of this scale is astronomical. For instance, the entire side section of the car, stretching from the top of the A-pillar all the way down to the rear rocker panel, is engineered out of a single, continuous piece of carbon fiber. There are no gaps, no clumsy seams, no alignment errors. It is designed, molded, and baked in Bottrop, Germany with absolute precision. Even the lighting system is a testament to how far Brabus went with this car. Usually, tuning houses just tint the factory headlights or add a cheap LED strip. Not here. Brabus fully designed and homologated brand new headlights and taillights specifically for the Bodo. The cost of global automotive homologation for a limited run production car is staggering. It routinely runs into millions of dollars just to satisfy crash safety and visibility regulations. But Brabus did it anyway just to prove a point. They wanted a front fascia that looked incredibly mean, dominant, and impossible to replicate. You see fake Brabus body kits all over the place nowadays. Clumsy fiberglass copies rolling around the Middle East, China, and Los Angeles. But you cannot fake this. You cannot copy a custom-engineered, fully integrated carbon fiber body with proprietary homologated lighting. When you walk around to the rear, the design language changes from aggressive track monster to ultra-exclusive land yacht. The massive rear width, the beautifully integrated retractable spoiler that deploys to generate actual aerodynamic downforce, and the illuminated Brabus script glowing across the tail lamps are spectacular. And look at the exhaust execution. Instead of traditional quad tips, Brabus stacked the exhaust pipes vertically on the left and right sides of the clean, functional rear diffuser. It is a bold, stylistic choice that looks incredibly distinct. In the center of the rear deck, you see the number 77. It is a quiet reminder that Brabus was founded in 1977, and as they approach their 50th anniversary, this car is the ultimate culmination of everything they have learned over half a century of modifying elite machinery. Step inside, and the standard corporate parts bin interior is completely gone. Brabus strips the cabin down to the bare metal and replaces every single surface with their masterpiece interior. Look at the seats. They feature the actual silhouette of the Bodo stitched directly into the leather. Every single air vent has been redesigned and custom cast for this specific cabin. They didn't just grab standard Mercedes vents and coat them in chrome. Everything is finished in a dark, sinister chrome trim that matches the exposed carbon fiber accents perfectly. And then there is the Alcantara on the flat bottom steering wheel. This isn't the standard rough Alcantara you find in a typical German sports sedan. This is the exact premium-grade Alcantara supplier that Pagani uses for their multi-million-dollar hypercars. The texture is incredibly distinct. It is soft, tactile, and designed to give you maximum grip without making your hands sweat when you are trying to wrangle 1,000 horsepower on a demanding road. Even the elements you never look at have been over-engineered. The pedal box features brake and gas pedals machined entirely out of solid carbon fiber. And the floor mats aren't carpet. They are quilted, fine-grained leather. Underneath those mats, more leather. It is completely absurd, highly impractical for a rainy day, and exactly what luxury should be, an uncompromising refusal to use cheap materials. On the dashboard sits the ultimate stamp of authenticity, the signatures of both Bodo Buschmann and Konstantin Buschmann, symbolizing the passing of the torch from one generation of gearheads to the next. But a car like this isn't meant to just sit in a climate-controlled garage as an art piece. It is built to make noise. When you push that Brabus-branded start button, the 5.2-liter V12 doesn't just turn over. It barks to life with a deep mechanical growl that completely isolates itself from the sterile whisper of modern EVs. Now, if you rev the car while stationary, you will notice a frustrating soft limiter that cuts the party off at 2,500 revolutions per minute. It is a necessary evil dictated by modern European sound regulations to prevent people from waking up entire neighborhoods. But don't let that fool you. Once the fluids reach their optimum operating temperatures and you put the car into Sport Plus mode, the exhaust valves open completely. When you actually drive this thing down the road and let that V12 stretch its legs towards 6,000 RPM, the sound is a phenomenal, unfiltered symphony of twin-turbocharged 12-cylinder fury. You can hear the turbos spooling up from the back of the car, sucking in air and compressing it with a mechanical whistle that sends chills down your spine. The Brabus Bodo is a brutal reminder of what happens when engineers are allowed to build cars based on passion rather than corporate spreadsheets. It is expensive, it is highly limited, it is completely politically incorrect in 2026, and that is precisely why it is spectacular. It doesn't pretend to save the planet, it doesn't pretend to be sensible. It is a 1,000 horsepower love letter to the internal combustion engine, built to honor the memory of a man who dedicated his life to making fast cars go even faster.